Could you imagine if your head just popped? Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the bodybuilders that took it just a little bit too far.
Number 10. Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith wasn't interested in any professional competition.
Jesus.
However, he was famous in the bodybuilding community.
He's
Rather
huge.
than go on stage to compete with his fellow muscular men and win prizes, he chose to write articles, coach, and run his own bodybuilding business called Nuclear Nutrition. He even created a workshop regimen called Beauty Failure Training. Aside from all the activities that made him famous, he was known for being too huge. Trevor stood at 6'1" and weighed over 400 pounds.
400 pounds?
He didn't follow due process to get that big. Not only did he train excessively, but he also used steroids to achieve artificial size. All the extra weight had ripple effects.
So stupid. Like, why do people use steroids? Just stop using steroids. Just do the workouts. People can get absolutely jacked without steroids. So why are you cheating the system and not putting in the work?
This meant that he was unknowingly putting pressure on his internal heart. He died in 2004 after suffering a heart attack.
Jesus.
Number 9. Andreas Munzer. People take steroids to look bigger and earn the respect of other bodybuilders. However, they are not the only supplement in the market that gives
his legs look
such a
like
blow.
prunes.
To achieve muscle definition, it's common for bodybuilders to take diuretics, which rids the taker's body of water and dehydrates it completely. The effect of this supplement is that it shrinks the skin and the tissues on the surface of the body. It turns men into giants and displays their anatomy. Andre Musner subscribed to this technique, but went a step further by reducing his body fat to nothing.
Good God.
This resulted in a never-seen-before muscle definition. Even though his body mass helped him win many competitions, it aided his downfall.
Jesus.
Due to the constant intake of dangerous chemicals and an unhealthy diet, his organs began to fail.
No shit,
He
Sherlock.
was later admitted to the hospital after he reported severe stomach pain. What followed next was multiple organ failure and eventual death.
I just don't get it. Why do people keep taking steroids? People take it too far. There's a limit. Like, take Dwayne Johnson. He's not ripped down to the absolute bone, but he's in very good condition. So why would you fucking go to that extent and destroy yourself?
What was more heartbreaking was his swollen heart, which was twice the normal size.
Jesus.
Number 8. Sally McNeil. Sally McNeil was not much of an award-winning bodybuilder. Her major achievement was winning some armed services physique championships while she served in the Marine Corps. Despite her steroid use, she didn't bring
Good God,
home
why
the
did
medals.
everyone use steroids?
This didn't absolve her of the usual side effects that should naturally occur. In her case, they were so severe that she shot and killed her husband, a fellow bodybuilder, on Valentine's Day in 1995. During her trial, her lawyer argued that she was a victim of domestic abuse and killed her husband out of self-defense.
It was the steroids, goddammit.
Her late husband's defense had a stronger argument. They proved to the judge that she has a history of aggression and violent outbursts since her previous marriage. They cited instances of her attacking innocent people, assaulting a police officer, and attacking a helpless spectator. Testing showed she had steroids in her system. She was later sentenced to 19 years in prison for second-degree murder.
Good Jesus.
Number 7.
Some people.
Chad brothers. Regardless of how you try to blend exercise and drugs, they never meet. There would always be a counter-interaction.
They look so
that would have
stupid.
negative
They look like they just got balloons shoved into their arms.
Effects on the body. The Chad brothers fell off an elliptical machine at Gold's Gym in Colony, New York. Their immediate action to this was going on a rampage and destroying the gym and office equipment.
These people are just people with problems. To say that they went on a rampage after they fell off an elliptical machine. They can't even take off a t-shirt, look at the size of their arms. And it's all fake shite like.
They even went to the extent
They're
of
even
attacking other
lopsided.
customers. When police arrived at the gym, they shot the boys with a taser. When an officer started to cuff one of them, he grabbed the taser and fought back. As the fight intensified, he was tased twice more. Thanks to 6 other police who intervened, he was held and cuffed.
They're not even strong. Like, look at their forearms in comparison.
It was later discovered that he had PCP and steroids in his system.
Good
Number
Jesus.
6.
Some people.
Greg Valentino.
Wham!
Greg Valentino is famous for holding the record of the biggest arms and the most hated men in the bodybuilding community. Unlike
fake
most
as hell.
professional bulkers, he didn't attempt to bulk his whole body. Rather, he focused on his arms. Although he managed to get big while exercising naturally, he wasn't satisfied. He wanted more out of his body.
No.
He began taking steroids and testosterone that made his arms grow to a massive 27 inches.
Like, look how he can't do anything now.
How speedily his arms increased in size. This was the motivation to continue.
That's so stupid. I don't care how impressive it is for bodybuilders to get jacked. This is way too far. Way too far. Like, I love exercising as well. By God, I'd never go to that extreme. Not in a fit.
Away with injecting
Not if you
steroids,
paid me, like.
and he forgot to change his needles. He kept reusing needles without sterilizing. This negligence, along with getting hit with a baseball bat, caused an abscess in his arms. Rather than seek professional medical care, he chose to handle this wound himself. When he didn't achieve any success with treating himself, he went to the hospital where the doctor cut the arms open to clean out the abscess. Luckily, all this did was cause a large scar on his bicep.
What, he jacked
Number
it up with
5.
more steroids to make it look cooler?
Dean Warmby. Dean Warmby was an English bodybuilder who spent most of his life taking steroids. He had an impressive
Everyone's
physique
taking
with
steroids.
240 pounds of muscle. It didn't take long for the repercussions of his decisions to start to show forth.
No shit.
It came in the form of liver cancer. He was diagnosed with liver tumors in 2010, and by 2015,
No wonder people get bad
died.
names for getting jacked,
He had
because this is
gone
what happens.
from a
They all go
muscle
taking
monster
steroids.
to a bed-bound warrior.
I say that in a very
After his death, an
brushed over
inquiry
statement.
revealed that the major culprit was the steroids and all the other drugs he took to stay huge. His partner Charlotte told the press that she suspected that he used steroids because his muscles were unbelievably big, but claimed he stopped taking drugs after they were married. When he fell ill, he stopped taking steroids and resorted to natural methods to restore his health. Before he died, he took nearly 200 natural remedy capsules daily. These natural
200.
remedies may have worked if he quit early when the liver wasn't damaged.
Good God.
Number 4.
But see, it's not worth it when you go to the extreme where it's life and death. It's just so stupid, like.
Romario dos Santos Alves.
Another guy that jacks his arm with
Even-
baby oils and baby fucking powders.
Even though you can describe Romario dos Santos Alves as a bodybuilder,
Look at those. He looks like he's two missiles on the side of his neck.
he didn't build anything. This is because he didn't dedicate his time to lifting heavy weights and taking protein shakes. Rather, he injects his muscles with synthol, a special oil that artificially enlarges the muscles. As you can see, his addiction to large muscles
I would not
caused
trust
to
him
lose
cutting
his
my hair.
health.
That's for sure.
Alves's addiction caused him pain, as the toxins from the oils were putting his kidney at risk. Despite all the disadvantages, he went ahead to inject himself until regular needles couldn't penetrate his muscles. Instead of quitting, he purchased veterinary needles like the type used on bulls and continued.
What?
Eventually, his muscles became too hard and the pain was unbearable.
That's
The doctors
mental.
warned that the only option left was amputation of his arms.
Don't shit,
Luckily
Sherlock.
for him, he didn't reach the point of no return before he had a change of mind about his addiction. Number 3.
Some people are
Ruben
taking it
Arce.
way too far.
Police in Colton, California arrested a 300-pound bodybuilder called Ruben Arce. They said he was under the influence of steroids and had other drugs when they
Looks like a
found him
letter
sitting
T
naked.
walking around there.
He had just returned home from a party.
Fair play. They achieved what they achieved. Did they take steroids? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. But like, look how in the way it is now. They look so jacked that they can't even put on, we'll say, normal t-shirts. They can't, we'll say, do normal things. Like, mobility is out the window completely.
But instead of going home,
Their legs look like
he sat on a
prunes.
couple's porch. The couple was scared for him and tried to phone the police. What
Their man's
followed
head looked
next
tiny.
was a swift opposition and attack from the man whom they wanted to help. They were badly injured in the process.
See, that's a bit more natural, we'll
While
say.
the man received severe head trauma from the beating, the woman was thrown around by the lunatic and suffered facial injuries. When the police arrived at the scene, It took the intervention of 4 officers with stun guns and 4 sets of handcuffs to restrain Arzu. If it was only alcohol he took that night or had been taking all along, his reaction wouldn't have been this violent. He was arrested and charged with attempted homicide.
Like, all these lead to murder.
Number 2.
Or death of something.
Mustafa Ismail. Mustafa Ismail is an Egyptian bodybuilder
That does not
who
look
followed the
cool or
footsteps
nice
of Greg
at all.
Valentino by focusing all his attention on the arms. He was keen on setting a new world record.
Look, his
and was
t-shirt
fortunate to
is
achieve it.
screaming. His t-shirt's there like, ah!
His biceps measured nearly 31 inches, making it the biggest at the time.
He's not even doing full
Investigation
reps.
showed that he used other artificial means of achieving the
Nah.
size. Because he cheated, his record was removed from the Guinness Book of World Records. He's believed to be a fan of synthetic oils that artificially bulk his biceps.
He looks like his
Even
bingo
though
wings.
he denies this fact, it's hard not to believe what people say.
It's not properly trained.
Number 1. Greg Kovacs.
Number
Greg
1.
Kovacs hails from Niagara Falls in Canada. He's a professional bodybuilder of remarkable dimensions. He was well over 6 feet tall and weighed around 330
monster.
pounds for competitions and 400 pounds off-season. His arms measured 25 inches, while his chest was 70 inches and his legs a massive 35 inches.
Ronnie Coleman.
He reportedly developed over
Even
20
Ronnie Coleman nowadays, he's even saying that he's constantly in pain to the point that he doesn't take any notice anymore of it. As in, he's always in pain. He can't walk, he can't go upstairs, he just can't move and he's in pain.
7-inch arms in the prime of his
It's
career.
not worth it, like.
In June 1997, he appeared on the cover of Flex magazine. Like most people on this list, he was big on hormones, steroids, and a few other things that helped him
Good
gain
God.
weight. He dominated his competitors and made them look like children.
It's all drugs, and then they all go down either dead, or they need amputation, or there's some massive surgery involved, or someone else died. It's brutal. Stay away from steroids. Let's stick to the better way of staying fit, and healthy, and in good shape. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye bye.